Yo, what's up? It's your favorite warrior main, Keyba, right? Anyways, today we're gonna do something special. Now, just like all of you in Guild Wars 2, there's a certain challenge that I have making gold whenever I play the game leisurely that, well, most people have, and I think that's because their internet doesn't really follow the subscription model of games, so it's hard to do it with crafting, etc., etc. That's not the point where we're here. What I want to give you guys is I've been PvPing for the last 8 years, as many of you know, and during that time, I have met a lot of friends who are still actively PvPing, and we exchange kind of ideas how to maximize the amount of gold we make during 1 hour's worth of PvPing. And so some of the tips that I'm going to give to you is just through trial and error, research and development, but generally if you do all these, you have a very good chance of making upwards of 200 gold a week from PvP if you PvP just for like an hour or 2 hours a day. I'm not saying this is foolproof, I'm saying there's a potential because I've seen it happen and I've done it before just based on a few different things such as RNG, such and such, but we won't get into these specifics here. So really, I'm going to give you 7 different behaviors or ideas that you can implement right now in Guild Wars 2 that can definitely increase the amount of gold you're making when you're PvPing at any given time. But before I do that, I just wanted to thank all of you for being supportive in the channel and definitely smash the like button if you like to see content like this. Also, leave a comment down below if you like to see videos like this or just any general ideas of videos that you would like to see in the future. That really does help create some content that I can give to you just from playing Guild Wars 2 for so long. I don't mind giving back, but I definitely want to know what it is that you guys find interesting. So leave some comments down below. And if you're not subscribed to the channel yet, I only ask you consider subscribing to get more up-to-date content, but also just to support the channel as we are looking to our audience more and more to more people who definitely want to find this information. So while I'm in queue in PvP, which generally takes about 1.5 minutes on average to queue up, I'm doing map completion on a character I haven't finished yet. And this really helps if you do it. It makes map completion more fun. But generally the idea here is that you're nickeling and diming your way to another map token. These map tokens can help create legendaries, or you can sell them to individuals who want to make a legendary for 500 gold. So let's just say I'm doing map completion for I'm PvPing for 2 hours, and on average I'm waiting 2 minutes in between games. I could either AFK and have no efficiency in my time, or I could do map completion and generally get about an hour's worth of map completion if I'm waiting for those queues. So if you just do map completion while PvPing or waiting on your queues, you can get a full map completion done within 2 to 3 weeks, depending on how much you're PvPing or if you're doing it actively. But I've done it where it takes me about 2 weeks to get a gift, and that's 2 gifts, that's 1,000 gold. So that's already giving me on average 500 gold a week. The second thing that I do even before that, but this is something that you should actively have before you even start the game, which is a guild buff. Maximize as many different modifiers as you possibly can. So that way, whenever you're playing and unlocking a reward track, then you're getting more experience for that reward track per win. If you have a guild or you're a part of a guild and they have a tavern here, you can go to the tavern and get the guild PvP reward track, which does down your character permanently, and that increases it by 10%. Additionally, now that is free, but there are other ways of unlocking or improving the modifier, which on top of the bonuses that ArenaNet gives in certain points of the game, you have things such as experience boosters, which give you 50% of reward track, and also the birthday boosters, which do another 50%. I believe you can cap out at 120% extra reward track progression, which is really huge because that means obviously you're maximizing the amount of rewards you're getting, and these reward tracks do give a lot of good stuff. You see, I'm doing a Lake Doric reward track, which gives me a bunch of magic ore packets to give me materials, and also some other cool items such as T5 materials, T6 materials, so forth and so forth. So doubling that up is always nice. When you're completing the reward track as well, it is really nice to get some mystic clovers and whatever item that you want. So rule of thumb, what I tend to use, or what reward tracks I tend to use, I like to do like a Dork track that offers magic warp packets, and also the domain of Ishtan is a really good one because that one gives you volatile magic and these shipment boxes that can be really useful if you need that currency, because you can go ahead and use that currency to buy more shipment boxes whenever you go to the map. There's also some hidden reward tracks that most people don't realize, but there are two ways you can get some really cool items. I'm gonna go off script here and just let you know that if you do these, you have a possibility of netting a 3,000 gold item. And that is if you do the jungle reward tracks after getting level 80 in PvP, which during the midway point, you do get a black lion key. So you can do that, and you can also unlock these Miss Champions reward tracks, which offer you a black lion key as well. So by doing all of these, you can get up to 10 or so keys that you can use to possibly get a permanent bank access, permanent hair kit, contract, etc. So it is limitless. The next thing that you're going to want to do is play ranked games. Now, I haven't played many games this season, but I'm also not looking to get gold right now. Here's why it's important to play ranked instead of unranked, on top of using the XP boosters and on top of the reward tracks. You'll see here that you get some actual unlockable boxes that provide you a couple different things, and that's very important for the next couple of things that I do personally to make gold. So all the way you get a Byzantine reward track, which, as you can see on the little menu there, the amount of rewards that you get are really nice. You get 100 ascended shards of glory. You also get 20 gold per every time that you complete that. And on top of that, you get a Grandmaster mark. So I think it's really important to pay attention to the things that you get: the league tickets, the marks, the wardrobes, the dyes, the gold. Because if you're doing ranked and you're doing 3 or 4 games a day, who knows, that's probably an hour's worth of time, then you can unlock this every 2 to 3 weeks. Just depends on how much you're playing. If you're able to get 20 gold just from that one box alone on top of the other boxes, you're maximizing the amount of gold that you're effectively making when you're PvPing. Plus, the Ascended Shards of Glory are going to be very helpful when I get into the next part of the video. So you'll figure out about those a little bit later on. And that is where you can actually make quite a lot of gold. So you're going to want to stick around to that. The next item that I'm going to speak about is doing your PvP dailies. They're going to give you these potions if you complete the dailies, you're going to get these fallen hero chests, which if you open them, you get some potions of PvP. And so you get about 3 or 4 a day, which is really good, especially if you win your first match and you do get top stats and stuff. That's really going to help increase the amount of gold that you make per hour or per week, or however you're trying to measure it, what your goal is. Because when you use these, they're going to give you a little bit of PvP reward track experience, which by then you'll get these items, right? These gilded boxes, these MOA boxes. The next part is actually going to be very important as well. And that is what to do with these items. Now, I will kind of preface by saying I'm on a level 51 Spellbreaker for a reason. And that reason is because whenever you get these items from the reward track, like the Gilded Strong boxes or the MOA loot boxes, and you open them, you'll end up getting weapons and items for the most part that are for the level that is within your range. So I'm getting Ravaging Privateer that's required level 51 to use because it scales to my level, right? And why that's important is because when you salvage these, you're going to get items that are a lot more valuable than the items that you would get if you were to open these boxes at level 80 and getting level 80 gear. Just to show you, right, these rugged leather sections are 3 silver, 59 a piece, right? If I get this leather, right? So let's just compare what I received versus what I would have received at level 80 by opening that at level 80 and having level 80 scaled gear, right? So let's do this. So we get iron ore as well. But the main point is, look, I got rugged leather sections instead of thick leather sections. And you can see that I'm going to be making more gold when I sell this versus the thick leather. So once again, it's very important that when you get these boxes, you open them with the character that's level 50, because generally that tier of materials is a lot harder to get since people aren't farming low level maps as much with low level characters, and that increases the price. That's just basic supply and demand. So I really recommend, you don't have to do this, but if you really want to maximize the amount of gold you get through PvP, I really advise that you have one character that is level 51 character through 59, doesn't matter, that you use to open these boxes and salvage the gear inside. And so now we're going to get to the final point of the video, which I think is very useful with making gold. But this one isn't as consistent as the other methods. However, I still like it because you have a really good chance of getting some really good profit. Whenever you do ranked PvP, as I'd mentioned before, you're going to get Ascended Shards of Glory. And with these Ascended Shards of Glory, you can buy a bunch of Mist Talisman, Mist Pendants. And from here, if you decide to buy one, right, what you can do is you can actually buy salvage kits, these Ascended salvage kits. And I don't know how many times you PvP, but if you have a lot of these shards, you can go ahead and salvage them and try to get a salvage excellence, which, if you're not familiar, I'm going to post a video or a screenshot, but a salvage excellence is an item that is worth about 320 or 350 gold, because people want to get that for the achievement. So from personal experience, I've gotten about 2 so far, just from a couple seasons, and that's just casually playing. But that it alone is about 600 gold that I use to liquidate to be able to fund some of the legendaries that I've made throughout the years. So that is definitely a really good way of making gold, just by thinking outside the box. You can also use the legendary shards or Ascended Shards of Glory if you want to get armor for your certain characters, but that's not what we're here about. We're here about the video that's going to show you how to make up to 200 gold a week just by PvPing. So that's pretty much all I have for you guys on this video. Hopefully you enjoyed understanding, and like I said, if you learn anything new today or there's something that you do specifically, I definitely want to know what your overall mindset is like. So drop a comment down below, tell me some ideas you have, and also some video ideas that you would like to see. Ask any questions. I'm always here to answer questions, but I will make another video soon, so I will see you guys in the next one.